It is that time of year again. The video is probably coming out a bit later than I normally like to do the Yamacon videos because I have other priorities. First thing to note though, I recently got the lens replaced on this camera, and it's something I never pointed out to you guys. It was always blurry, like towards the left side. Like that boy right there was always blurred out, kind of like he is right now. Like, it had some focusing issues. So I bought a new lens and got it replaced for like 60 bucks. Anyways, yeah, we went to the Yamacon. We actually just got back today. These were the passes. This one was my lady friend's, was mine. We didn't really get like a whole lot of like photos or videos this time. Ruby car. But yeah, Yamacon merch stuff. I just thought the coin was kind of neat, so I decided to go for it. But of course, this channel is primarily a Pokemon channel, and that is mostly what we were hunting for. Of course, we got some gifts and stuff, but those aren't going to be shown because I don't want to cheapen the gift giving. But there are going to be all kinds of things in this video. Okay, I was struggling to figure out what I wanted to start with. I guess we're going to start with something a bit odd. There's a game store in our local area who also happens to do the con, and the day before the con started, I was like, hey, if I go there first, I could pick things up before they go to the con and sell out of a bunch of crap. So that's what I did. We have Hey You Pikachu for the N64, but in Japanese for a whopping $8. Now, the cool thing is I actually have this complete in box in English, so I already have the microphone that you need. The downside is I don't speak Japanese, so if you don't know anything about Hey You Pikachu, you kind of need to be able to speak the language of the game. So just the collector's thing. Same with this, Pokemon Snap, for the same price. Of course, I also already own this in English. It's a little bit more beat up, which for Japanese cartridges isn't actually super common. You can see like someone took a Sharpie to it at one point. But it's just a neat thing for the collection. So a while back, I did a video going over like some Pokemon like Flash games and microsites and stuff like that. And one of those was for PokéPark Wii Pikachu's Adventure. And I had made a joke in that video that like I had to get this game because not only did it actually look kind of neat, I'd like to do a video on it one day. And not only did it actually not look too bad, but whenever I saw that Absol was in it, it was like, okay, well now I have to buy it. Yeah, this was 40 bucks. I don't know if I overpaid or not, but that store tends to do really good with their prices. Yeah, complete in bucks. A beefy manual for this guy. And then just random pamphlets, woo. Then for something not Pokemon related, I collect games in general, and I actually like my Atari collection. I grew up with the Atari. It wasn't my main console, I'm not that old. But we did have an Atari 2600 growing up, and I like to collect for it once in a while, and I've never had an in-box game. The main issue being is that when they're in box, it's cardboard and they get beat up, and most people just think of it as packaging to throw away. But Berserk is one of my favorites, and this copy has definitely seen better days, if you can't tell, especially here towards the top. But I actually haven't looked into these yet. So it does have the manual, it has, okay, the Atari catalog. I know that they sent these with some games, I don't know if they were in all of them. And then, of course, the game itself, which isn't in the worst condition. Thing is, I actually already owned this game. So whichever one is in worse condition, I can just go resell, now that I have the thing in box. So I can keep whichever one is in better condition. And the last one is Demons to Diamonds. If you know Space Invaders, you know Demons to Diamonds. There's a handful of games like this. I actually like this more than Space Invaders, at least when it comes to the 2600. There's another one called Demon Attack, I think. That is like my favorite like Space Invaders clone. I think that's the name of it. You can see here it's at 21 bucks at one point. I got it for $12.99. Again, not in peak condition, but that happens with cardboard boxes from like the 80s. Yeah, 1982. Yeah, technically, these weren't picked up at the con, but like, they would have been at the con if I didn't buy them the day before they took all of their stuff to it. But there is Demon to Diamonds cartridge here, and that one's actually in better condition, but faded, but not bad. And Atari catalog again. The manual was inside of the Atari catalog. So at one of the shops, they were selling Japanese packs, and I told the guy, just give me 5 of any random pack, and so that's what he did. So we'll be opening these throughout the video. So I guess we'll go ahead and start off with the first one here. I have no idea what this set is, or what it relates to with the English sets, or what the name is in Japanese. I've done some like Japanese booster boxes, but I'm not an expert by any means. So I don't know, I think it's usually 1 to the front for Japanese, right? We're not gonna do it, I don't want to risk messing it up, but Minchino, we have the Roly-Coly, the Ekans, a Hollow Feebas, and a Sharpedo. So yeah, that is our uncommon, so yeah, it's 1 to the front. So I purchased these at previous cons, and I was actually kind of upset that they had 2 of the 3 Tatsugiri, They didn't have the third, and I'm super upset about it. But we also got the Gimme Gold. These are literally like a couple bucks a pop. They are not expensive at all. But we have a handful in our collection. Oh, okay, it opens that way. We don't have like a lot of them, but they're neat little things. So they're supposed to be like, you know, these kind of silicone-esque figures, but some of them are shaped weird because they're meant to have a hole in the bottom of them for your finger to go into, which doesn't really work well on all of them. It's also like a dark spot on this guy. But I like the Tatsukiris, and I thought this was kind of neat. So wow, like, this actually has like multiple issues. There's like a bunch of like messed up paint there on the side as well. But neat. Then we have the orange one. I don't know what they're designated as. I'm not sure. But we have the orange Shushi, which I'm not seeing the same issues with. I guess a little bit of orange paint splatter there if you count that. But like, yeah, this one has less issues. Again, put finger inside if you feel like it. I just think they're pretty neat little figures. Oh no, the left side's getting blurry again. Maybe the lens wasn't the issue. Okay, there we go. Oh, I forgot. They come with gum inside. That way they can go in the toy aisle in Japan. Because they can go in the candy aisle. They have like weird like things in supermarkets in Japan, and you can't put like the toys in random aisles. They all have to be in the same aisle. And so a lot of Japanese companies will just put like a little piece of gum that they pay like literally nothing for to manufacture. And they just throw it in there and congrats, now it can go with the food. Of course, the whole reason to do that is if you're a parent going through a supermarket, you're probably going to get upsold by your own kids. Your kids are going to see something that they want and, you know, cry until they get it. So they're kind of just like putting gum in there to make parents' lives worse. But we have our little gimme goal as our last one. I just like this little guy. Wow, okay, getting that finger in there is not gonna... Okay, that actually kind of hurt, but, I mean, yeah, I guess we kind of did it. So, my girlfriend is a big Dragon Ball fan, and we found these prints that are just really cool. Like, they're not anything super crazy, but they appear to be official. You have, like, the Band Presto 2018 Made in Japan thing on them. So they don't seem to be, like, a reprint kind of deal. The back is pretty simple. Yeah, they were $7 a pop. But it's just... That's one of my favorites right there, the Frieza. Then we have Geku and Vegeta. Yeah, looks neat. And my favorite one, by far, is our Vegeta kicking Cell. These are just really cool. Yeah, some of these were in bags, some of them were not. They're, like, still sealed. But... It's just really cool. I love the design on these things. There is more Dragon Ball yet to come. Okay, let's get to ruining my set with mini boxes. So these come from one of my favorite stores that is always at the con. One or two of the things I've already shown also came from them, called Dark Moon Cards and Games. They do these like Re-Ment mystery boxes. However, they open them to see which one is inside, so you can actually get the one that you want to get. And they weren't a terrible price. It was 25. Oh yeah, I forgot they're already opened. It was 25 bucks for 3, so that's why we got 6 in total. But I figured between the two sets, we can probably kind of put them with each other. If you watch a lot of Pokemon content, you probably already know who Re-Ment is. They also do the gum thing. But they do a lot of work with the Pokemon Company to make figures. Wow, that actually like fits in there like real snug. Like that really precise cutout there for the Psyduck to go into. That's cool. And then this little wall rock piece kind of like clicks into the back. It kind of hits up on that leaf a little bit there though. But there he is. There's our Psyduck in the river. Our next one is the Bidoof Brothers. Also, I'm not saying the gum in these boxes, so either Dark Moon Cards and Games removes the gum for themselves because they really like the super cheap gum, or Re-Ment just doesn't do it in all of their products. See, I know that there are people who like the whole, like, oh, you don't know which one you're gonna get, and like there are upsides to that, right? Like if I'm doing like a video to Re-Ment products, I feel like it's a more interesting video concept to not know what's inside. But I kind of appreciate not wasting my money, so I'm okay with them, you know, kind of spoiling it. And there we go, our Bidoof boys. It actually looks pretty neat, although the back wall in this one really doesn't like to stay on there. But we can actually just kind of link them up like that, or like that. I guess it doesn't really matter. It kind of sucks that they don't actually link to each other. You just kind of like put them close. And next is a big boy, the Quagsire. And this one's extremely simple. Quagsire goes in water, put reeds in here, and then wall, and bam. there he is. Quagsire floating down the river. And the last one is the Slowpoke. Now, while it does show 4 on the front, we didn't get the complete series here. As you can see, there's also a Marshtomp and a Croagunk as well. Ah, this Slowpoke has 2 pieces of foliage. There's also just like a big rock already implanted inside of this one. So there's a hole there where his tail goes in, which is kind of neat. And then that kind of plugs into his side to secure him in place. And it shouldn't really matter where these little grass pieces go. Yeah, cool. There is our Slowpoke in the water. Not too bad. But then, we also got these. They're from a different set. Oh, I didn't put the rock on Slowpoke. Okay, rock attached. This is from a different set, but I thought they might be able to work together, so we got the Celebi and the Magikarp. Seems to be pretty hefty. Look, I appreciate that they packaged them all separately, so that way nothing gets, like, damaged, but it's kind of annoying to deal with when you're doing 6 boxes. Got a lot of smaller pieces in the Celebi one. So let's see. How is this supposed to work? Okay, so those kind of slot in to make that little cube. Am I missing something here? Ah, crap, I forgot. The guy warned me that there's a small piece that people always lose, and I forgot about it. But just try to put it together with what we have? I feel like I'm doing this wrong. Okay, yeah, it faces this. Okay, because the rock goes over that. That makes sense. So you actually need to put the rock back on first. It goes in pretty snug, then this. Or maybe you do this whole piece first? It's not the easiest to snap together. There we go. Okay, at least that should hold together pretty good. Then we just kind of snap the waterfall in right there. Put our Celebi in like that. And bam. There we go. Completed piece. And my original thought was that I could kind of like face them towards it. But those waves kind of mess it up. So it might just have to go beside it like that, which isn't perfect. Maybe at least have Celebi facing them, you know? Yeah, that's fine. And next is the Magikarp. I apologize if this section is too long. I try to keep things moving whenever we have a bunch of product to do. I'll try to put, like, video chapters down below. Okay, so that rock piece goes on pretty easy. Then we should be able to put the base on. Good God, I feel like I'm breaking it trying to get this to go down. All right, there we go. Oh, that is a tiny little Mudkip. Like, I don't know, I'm not an expert, but I feel like Mudkip isn't that much smaller than Magikarp, right? Or as Magikarp might be its like natural predator. Okay, so how this is supposed to work, that goes there, I think. Okay, that one was not the easiest to do either, but there we go. Yeah, Magikarp doesn't really like stay in super well. But, yep, there's our Mudkip. There, I would say our set has been improved. Alright, let's go for another pack. Again, not super informed on what sets are good to aim for in Japanese, but I just told the dude, do 5 at random. And so, he decided to pick out 5, one of each, at least. So, I don't know how to say your name, I don't remember. We have... God, my brain isn't working. I want to say slacking, but it's not slacking. Slack off. Palossand, we have... God, we're getting Pokemon that I'm bad with. Nomura, right? Nomura, something like that. And we have the Aqua breed Tauros. There are some Pokemon that are just like at the fringe of my attention, and we happen to get 2 there. Conchernot? Isn't that how it's pronounced? Anyways, playing cards. Girlfriend decided to pick these up. Again, she's a big Dragon Ball fan. I'm a big Mega Man fan. These aren't like anything too crazy, so this is specifically from the superhero movie. You'll be going through it pretty quickly. But because it's specifically from superhero, you mostly have like people who are featured in that movie, like the Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. Of course, Cell Max. Yeah, again, nothing like too wild on these. They're all pretty samey. But it's neat than the back of them. I used to like collect playing cards in case anyone was wondering why this kind of came out of left field. I don't really collect them too much anymore, but I still have all of the ones I had before. And then I haven't actually looked at the Mega Man ones. They're probably very similar. This is also specifically for Mega Man 10. They didn't all really like to come out at the same time. Yeah, this will probably be like that. Let's look at the backs of them. Yep, Mega Man 10. The Joker, Dr. Wily, Mega Man, yeah, and then just a bunch of the other bots on these, and it's probably gonna repeat. Yeah, it does. So, yep, again, kind of basic, but I like the styling to it. It's pretty cool. I'm a weird man of a weird nerd of Mega Man, where I just kind of like enjoy it from afar. I haven't played like all of the games or anything. I've played a lot of them, though. Honestly, the Battle Network games are what really got me into it, which makes sense, because Battle Network games are very Pokemon-esque. If you do enjoy the Pokemon games, I actually do suggest checking out any of the Mega Man Battle Network games. Okay, let's go into something fun. This was a $20 Pokemon Mystery Bag. Guaranteed to probably not be worth it. No, they advertised that it came with, like, certain things, and I think, like, 3 packs were included, and so, like, that's not a terrible deal for the packs alone. Like, you know, they're generally about 5 per pack, so 15 bucks. 5 more for whatever else is in here. But this one feels kind of dense. Okay, let's pull something out. Okay, that is a jumbo, and a jumbo sleeve as well. I never even thought about looking for jumbo sleeves. I probably should. I guess they make them, because here is one. I mean, obviously it's going to be a promo, because that's the only way that they make these things. Yeah, Dark Sylveon V. One I already had, but I probably have 90% of the jumbos anyways. Anything else I can feel on top? Okay, we have cards for Pokemon Go. Feel free to use these codes. I will not be using them, because I don't really play Pokemon Go that much. So, feel free to take those. Whoever gets to it first. Okay, and there's a whole tin in here, and that's it. But this tin is not not sealed. So there's a coin, basic Pikachu coin, neat. But yeah, we have our trainer tar tin here. With all of the plastic included, yay, more trash. We'll look at those packs here in a sec, and it looks like a little packet of cards too. And that's it. So as far as the packs inside, we have a Sword and Shield Chilling Reign, okay. I won't complain about going back a bit to Sword and Shield. Oh my god, my favorite Sword and Shield set, we have Brilliant Stars, super happy. And go. And one of these. I mean, they said at least 3 packs, there were 4, so woo. But I mean, come on. I'm not even gonna open it, there's no point, there's no point. These are like the worst thing to happen to like sellers that do these mystery product things, because you're just gonna get these in every one. Open the packs here in a sec. Let's take a look at their little thing here. I'm afraid it's just going to be bulk. So we have Flapple, okay, reverse there, Duttler, Kamala, Ducklet, Rowlet, Bergmite, Poniard, Gloria, Goomy, the Old Cemetery, Path to the Peak, Venipede, Grookie, Glossifer, Helioisk, Dreepy, Mandbuzz, okay, looking like it is all just bulk, which is kinda lame. Also, to include Go Bulk in there as well, when you also gave me a Go Pack. Come on, that's just mean. Alright, let's start off with the Go set, the most enthusiastic set that they've ever done. I didn't hate the Go set. I thought when it first released that it was getting too much hate. But, man, I got tired of seeing it all the time. Mostly because I don't remember what card it was now. There was a card that I was hunting down, and, oh, I had that facing the wrong way. There's a card that I was hunting down, and, I was buying a bunch of product in an effort to pull it, and, it never happened. I ended up just buying the card. Lore Module, Pupitar, Chansey, Charmander, we have the Tranquil, Squirtle, I'm just throwing cards everywhere, Meltan, Apom, an Onix, so no Ditto on this one, and a Holo Charizard. Then we have the Chilling Reign. Now the best set the Pokemon Company has ever done is out of the way. I remember, like, it used to be a common thing for, like, fake cards to brand themselves with the Pokemon Go branding. And then, like, the Pokemon Go set released, and it's like, okay, well, now you're just confusing people. Nobody asked for this to be a thing. I get why they did it, though. Bring people that only play Go. Like, they're not big on Pokemon, but Pokemon Go is a huge thing, so they started playing that. Try to bring people into the TCG with those cards. We have Blitzel and a Zangoose. And finally, my favorite set from Sword and Shield, Brilliant Stars. It was just the start of the trainer gallery, which is of course what eventually led us to the illustration rares that we have now after that weird Galarian gallery thing that they did. But let's see, hopefully we can get something out of here. We have the Fracture, Dusclops, the Starmie, Magmar, Electabuzz, Chimecho, Gibble, Turtwig, and Charon's Care. Dang, nothing in all 3. Because the Holo Charizard's guaranteed. You're guaranteed a Holo in the Go set. Alright, let's talk about some deals real quick. My girlfriend likes to build Gunpla. So we got these. Now, you might look and go, okay, this looks kind of older. It is, right down there, copyright date of 1988. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's from 1988, but that is the most recent copyright date on this box. And they were asking $50 for it. But the vendor that we bought these from, there are 2 more, decided to give her a deal and told her whichever one she buys from these old vintage ones, they are half off. So she got this for 25 bucks. Now I don't remember the values of all of these. I'll put them on screen. The average prices that I'm seeing on eBay. But we got this for 25, and all of the ones she got a good deal on. So there is what it will look like whenever it's finished being built, and all of the pieces required to build this thing. I don't have the patience for these buildable things, but it's kinda neat. She was really interested in getting some of these vintage Gunpla, because she's never done one before. I remember this was the one that was closest in margin to what she paid, because she paid 20, and I think this one was like 25 or so on eBay, but still got it for a decent price, because if you would have paid full price, it would have been overboard at 40. Of course, actually that isn't what it's, yeah, there's about what it's gonna look like whenever it is done. And many pieces. I actually don't see a copyright date on this one. We can assume it's from that same era, though. And then my personal favorite, and I think it was hers as well, this one was normally 50, so of course she paid 25. We got this big old green boy here. And that one's actually 1985 on the copyright date. And that is what it will look like when it's done. Kind of weird, kind of freaky looking. But cool. Yeah, you can see it's a very vibrant green. But yeah, this is my favorite one by far. Now time for a weird little tangent. Bought these because I wanted coffee. And so I bought UCC coffee with milk since 1969. It wasn't bad. In fact, as someone who isn't like a coffee snob, but I'm a little picky on coffee. This was actually pretty good. I mean, I'm sure, you know, it's canned coffee. It can't be that great, right? But I liked it. It was good. I actually kind of want to get more, and I learned that you can actually get these on Amazon. They have to get them like a bundle, but it ends up being like $2 and like 40 cents a can, I think. Interesting note here, though. There is nothing about caffeine that I could find on this can. I have reason to believe, due to that there is no actual caffeine in this. Of course, I drank it. What's weird is that this can is actually so thick that it feels like there's still stuff in it. Of course, I'm only throwing it away, it's a can, but it feels like there's still liquid in it. This one I haven't tried, same brand, Hawaii Kona coffee, blend coffee with milk. Yeah, it is probably also going to be pretty good, I hope. But this one I couldn't find on, like, Amazon. Alright, Japanese pack time. Cut open the bottom, because you have to do that with the Japanese. Well, you don't have to do it with the Japanese ones, it just makes it a lot easier. One to the front, and let's see. Oh, there is something back there. I kind of spoiled it. Okay, so we have Latios. I believe O is for blue. We have the Drillbur, Rufflet, Lady, and okay, we have the Full Art Surfer. Neat. So this is actually from a pretty recent set, because we actually pulled the this surfer in a video not that long ago. So cool. Now I have it in Japanese. All right, let's go back to talking about deals. Because this thing, I don't know. I haven't watched Gurren Lagann, but it's one of my girlfriend's favorite shows, and I actually told her, oh, we're probably gonna be watching through it together. Big ol' mech boy. He's like, you know, poseable and all that. This shell we kind of left like hanging so that way I don't risk damaging it, taking it off, because it's kind of hard to remove. But you could take this little brain piece out, and you actually have the pilot inside here, which is kind of cool. You know, he just comes out also like a kind of poseable kind of deal. But like this is actually really cool. Well, we did some research on it. This is released in, I believe, 2008. A lot of things in here are actually changeable, by the way. So, like, you can swap out his face for a more serious face, and you have different hands. You can actually replace his hands with drills, which is interesting. In fact, even this drill right here, we actually put in. There's normally a little cap here, and you can choose to replace it with the drill, and it does actually, like, spin. Anyways, this thing is from 2008, and it's sold for $50 at retail. She paid $75. Now, it's not in box. It was sealed in its bag, but it wasn't sealed in box. It goes for a good $200. When it's used, like, buying it, I'm like, that's weird looking. Like, I've never watched the show. It looks kind of bizarre to me. She really wanted it, so she paid the $75. Then we get home, and I was just like, oh, I wonder what, you know, this thing actually goes for online or whatever. And, like, I mean, you're looking like $200 to $300. Like, granted, she doesn't have it sealed in box, but I don't know, I didn't see any loose ones on eBay. but that's wild to me. So probably the best deal that we got. Oh, I also forgot about this because I'm kind of wearing it. I got a hat. More Pikachu. I wear a lot of hats. I'm really picky on them, and this one actually is pretty comfortable, so it's one that I'll actually wear and not just, you know, not ever use. Anyways, you might have seen in the thumbnail, but there is this Dragon Ball Super Card Game Fusion World Ultra Limit. This is set FB04, which I believe is the newest for the Fusion World card game. Of course, we already opened it the other day. Well, I guess all the packs are in here. But, well, we're not going to be going through all of it. I pulled out the good stuff. So these aren't really in any certain order. It's basically just anything that shines, aside from me putting the best thing that we pulled at the very back. So there are a lot of pulls in here, because, you know, they do, like, guaranteed, like, holos and stuff. But there are some decent cards in here. Of course, Dragon Ball, if you're a Pokemon collector, you'll probably feel like the value of these cards are generally a bit lower. I'm not going to be putting all the values on the screen, because holy god. But, yeah, I like some of these minis, because this one is actually like a textured card. It's an R star, which means that it's an alternate art, I believe, for anything that has a star. So, like with this SR star for the Vegeta there. She generally knows more about it than I do, though. Yeah, there's another R star, so King Goma. We have some leader back cards here, so there's one side of them. And there is the other. Looking for anything else that was, like, more standout. Like alternate arts or, like, anything crazy. And not seeing a whole lot. We opened all of these last night. So I guess she did kind of put the better stuff there towards the front. Because these are mostly just, like, rares here. But then, the best card that we pulled is the ×10 Kamehameha. Crazy card. This is an alternate art rare, but one weird thing about this card is that the set says FB03. It's kind of hard to show there. Yeah, FB03. So this is a card that was actually in the previous set. I guess they do a thing in Dragon Ball where, like, they take a couple cards from the previous set, they put them in the new one, but then they give them alternate art, and they're very rare. This card goes, I'll have the price on screen, but around like 45 bucks. All the more accurate price down there. Yeah, so that was by far the best pull. Really good for Dragon Ball, in my opinion, because again, a lot of their cards, their values are generally lower than what you see in Pokemon. But then their peaks are very high. So I did buy some singles while I was there. However, I decided that I'm going to put a lot of the singles into the bonus card of the day segment, into that box. But the cards that don't quite make the cut I'll include in this video, and actually, first off, isn't even cards, bought a couple coins. They were selling them for, like, literally like a couple cents, and I just got some that I was missing. So there's the Volcanon. There is the Genesect, and we have a Victini, which I think I already have a Victini, but not with this, like, kind of matte paint to it. Or at least matte compared to normal. So, the singles I purchased. We have a German Geodude. I like to pick this up once in a while, the old German cards. They can actually be worth more, because Germany actually had the least amount of prints, you know, like, least amount of cards sold there. So, technically, this Geodude is more rare than its English counterpart. Then we have the Blaine's Growlithe, which I might already own, but I like some of these, like, trainer cards here. My girlfriend also really wanted this Quagsire. So there's a Quagsire from 2000. This one, I really didn't need to buy. It's a card that is very modern, and I could easily pull it. I feel like I probably overpaid for it, but I just kind of said screw it and bought it anyways. We have the Trainer Gallery Zora resting. I'll take it out of that sleeve so there's a bit less reflection. Resting on, like, the corner of, like, a roof. It's a neat card. I decided it was worth the $7, even though it's probably actually not. And then, of course, from these, I already removed some cards that I'm saving for bonus card of the day, which is at the end of every video if you don't know. So, like, at the end of this video, I'll be taking a random card out of my bonus card of the day box, of which there are, like, 20-something right now. But we did pick up just a first edition Pokeball from the Jungle set for 50 cents. Probably about right. We have Paris, which is a Galarian Gallery, number 32 of 70 from, I believe, Crown Zenith. Just one of the ones I hadn't already pulled. That one's actually in a Mimikyu sleeve. And then a first edition Energy Search from Fossil, which is $2. I might have overpaid on that one, I'm not sure. Alright, we only have 2 Japanese packs left, so let's go ahead and get ourselves down to 1. Now, this set I actually did do a booster box on, if you're interested. So there's a chance I can actually get a good pull that is a duplicate out of this one. So, one to the front. And yes, Houndoom, Dusclops, Snubbull, and a Genesect. Also, yes, I'm saving some good stuff for the end of the video. I shouldn't necessarily say good, I would just say huge. This was also from local game store. This one was actually purchased at the con. It drew my attention, and when I realized what it was, it's actually kind of cool. I don't know why I've never seen this. The Wii had so many wacky accessories, but I never saw one of these. You put the Wiimote inside, and it turns it into an actual, like, usable controller. And you can actually see, you know, like, the layout of the Wiimote here, because whenever you press one of the buttons, it just kind of presses down on it. Same with our, like, D-pad here. But these two buttons are, you know, normally straight, the 1 and 2 buttons on a Wiimote. But they turned it to an angle, and you can see they still activate their buttons. They just kind of, like, angle the plastic. So that way it's more like a NES or SNES controller. Like, it's kind of neat. You still have that, so if you need to use the pointer, you still can. It's probably a bit more cumbersome this way. It says big oversized super shell. So it's meant to be like, oh, this is, like, really big, and it is. I mean, look how much more thickness it adds. As somebody with big hands, I mean, this thing is comfortable. Like, compared to a Wiimote, like, this is so much more comfortable. Like, I don't know if it's supposed to, like, oh, it's oversized. It's the perfect size for somebody like me. Like, I like this. So these things I'm going to show you now are kind of neat. And I originally decided not to get them, but I ended up changing my mind because they go with something else pretty well. Little keychain of the Japanese copy of Pokemon Crystal. I would have loved to have had the English copy, but I had to go with Crystal because, like, I love the, like, clear plastic, you know, glittery design that they did for the Crystal cartridge. And, with this 3D print, they actually captured it really well. And then we do have the English copy of Pokemon Blue. I wish they had Red. While I think I do enjoy the roster in Blue, Red is what I played a lot growing up and have more nostalgia for. They had it in Japanese, but I wanted to get one in English. So not the best label print on there, I'm realizing. But they actually have, like, kind of like the cartridge slot down here at the bottom. Like, they're pretty well thought out. But I got these to go with something else. These are mini Pokemon cards. They're put inside of acrylic, like a keychain. Now, I'm not a big keychain person, so I'm not exactly certain what I'm going to be doing with them. But here we have the EVEX card. Now, the people who make these actually said that they have made, like, hundreds and hundreds of different cards, and that they don't do that many copies of each card. And, he said that, like, his end goal is hopefully one day to have made one of these out of every single card. I don't remember how much these were now. They really were not much. I know if you got 3, you got a deal, so that's what I did. Although we actually considered doing more. I was looking for Absol, my favorite Pokemon, or my favorite card ever, the Alt Art Zeraora, here on screen. They didn't have either. But we have our next card here, which is Squirtle, a very recent card, which we have actually pulled. And while they have this, in the same set, you have illustration rares of, like, Bulbasaur, which is my favorite of the 3 starters. This one is objectively just the best art out of any of those illustration rares. And, I was very happy when I pulled him, and now I have a miniaturized version of the Squirtle. And lastly, while they didn't have my favorite card of all time, the Alt Art Zeraora, they at least had a Zeraora. It's still up there. I still love the artwork on this card, mostly because I'm nostalgic for the other one. But, I mean, it's not what I was hoping for, but it's real close. Yeah, these things are just kind of neat. It's a really cool idea. Next up, we have some mystery packs. Not too much of a mystery, because you can actually see the card on top. I decided to go with one that had Japanese on it, thinking there might be more Japanese cards in here, and one of an old EX, specifically from XY Evolutions, hoping to get some older cards in here. We'll see if any of that math actually adds up. Let's start off with the Japanese one. In case you're wondering, they were all the exact same price of $10. So we have our Fortress here. Then we have going to be a bunch of bulk, it seems, which is what I was afraid of. I mean, it was only $10, so they're gonna get their money's worth out of it. I hate that they threw in energies. I believe this was also from Dark Moon Cards and Games. I could be wrong, but I'm like 99% certain it came from them. They are one of my favorite booths that are there every year. Ursaluna, Diner Tree Hill, Justified Gloves. This isn't like a sponsored thing, by the way. I just enjoy their booth. I learned recently that they actually have a site that I want to check out, perhaps do a video. We have Brandon. We have a Hollow Articuno. Okay, come on, the upside down thing, come on. We have Lechonk upside down again. We have a Hollow Marowak, a Machamp, and something in a sleeve. We have a Wigglytuff. So, okay, while it's not Japanese, it does kind of fit the shiny theme going on here, at least. And then our Pidgeot one. Maybe we'll have some more cards in here. I don't know. I have my doubts. But we have the Pidgeot EX. It's actually not in a regular sleeve. It's also in a Mimikyu sleeve. Yeah, it's in one of the Pokemon ETB sleeves. Come on, guys. Face your cards the same way. It's just like a customer experience thing. Got my boy. Okay, I'm already happy. They threw my boy in here. That's a good sign of what's to come, although I'm kind of holding it weird, so you can kind of already get an idea as to what me back there. It doesn't help that it's in a sleeve, so it kind of makes it harder to not spoil. Here, let's just do this. Face him that way, pull it out, lay it down. There, now I won't spoil it. Cool. Bunch, bulk, bunch, bulk, bunch, bulk, bunch, bulk, bunch, bulk, bunch, bulk. Not even like old bulk either. Reverse, reverse, a reverse, a reverse, and a reverse. So what was the card on the back? Okay, not bad. It's a promo, which kind of sucks. So we are going back to 2014 with this Crocodile EX. I mean, yeah, it's a standard EX, but like XY25, so it was early into the XY era as well. I mean, it's a promo, but I'll take it. Are those worth $10? Probably not. I mean, value-wise, I would assume no. So there are only a couple items left, and if you see my previous Yamacon videos, you might have seen these Pokeball Terrariums. There's a company that makes them, they're really cool. This year, I decided to go a bit of a different route. We've bought 4 of them in the past. This time, I bought a mystery one. Now, what that probably means is nobody was buying it, and so you're just getting it mystery but discounted. So it is cheaper than what they normally sell them for. But you don't know what you get, and it's probably not going to be super great because, I mean, if I was running that company, that's what I would do. Like, hey, I've brought this one to a lot of conventions, no one's buying it, throw it in a mystery bag for a discount. But let's see which one we have. Okay. It's not bad. There's some dirt on the inside right there. We have the Walrein. Okay, I'll take it. I like the water design down there. They basically, like, did some, like, hot glue design to kind of give it more of a water effect. That's kind of neat. Yeah, this little guy isn't bad. It is interesting that they changed their stand design this year, it seems. There's almost like a Pokeball cup holder here. Like a... well, I can't think of the term. Like, yeah, that's different. And then there's this ring, which is actually, oh my god, it's a shower curtain ring. This is for a shower curtain. So what they were doing is they were doing like that metal ring around like mason jars. They used those and they would paint them red, and that's what it would sit on. So it seems that they have changed their design, and I mean, hey, it works. It's not bad, right? Like it holds the ball. I don't hate it. It's not bad. 35 bucks. I mean, I probably would have preferred something a bit more than a Walrein, but hey, Walrein fans out there, it's pretty neat. So one of the slightly larger physical in size items, we have another Dragon Ball thing here. We'll be going through it very quickly. But this is the premium 7th anniversary box, and there are some awesome looking cards in here. Now, because you can just buy this box and get the cards, they probably don't have that much value. Also, I know it was in the plastic. My girlfriend put it back on there. I don't really know why, but we have already gone through it. This little piece is kind of like comes off. But you get a decent little storage box. So there is some randomness to this. Every box isn't going to contain all of the same cards. If you're interested in this, you can pause it and look, but there are like, oh, you can get one of certain things. This also includes the sleeves. There are 4 different packs of sleeves you can get, and this is what she ended up getting inside of this box. Then, a bunch of cards. And again, we're just going to fly through them very quickly, but some of them are really cool. If I can get them out. They also, I think all of them, there are 2 of each. There might be some that there's only 1 of each, but we have Pilaf, we have Goku. She wanted me to call all of them by the wrong names in this video, because the entire time she was going through the cards, that's what I was doing. Like, I was just like, oh, it's Goku. Just calling all of them by the wrong names. Like, yeah, I like this, like, Android 16. Just driving her insane the entire time, and she's like, when you do this in the video, you need to call them by the wrong things. And I was like, I don't know if I can do that, because every time I even mispronounce a name, people get mad at me. They got some nice full arts in here, too. So yeah, just a bunch of, like, cool, like, promo cards. These are actually leader backs as well. Yeah, I really like a lot of these full arts. Vegito with Super Saiyan Blue, then Core Absorption, Android 13, Android 14 and 15, Goku, Pan. But like, people get mad at me whenever I even just like pronounce a name wrong, let alone getting a character's name entirely wrong, let alone being that egregious as calling Goku Black Goku. Like, I would just get lit up in the comment section, which I think was kind of her goal, was to get me harassed. I remember a long time ago, I've mentioned this before many a time, I did a video on these Inuyasha cards back when this channel was still very young. And I hadn't watched the show in a long time. Inuyasha was like one of my favorite animes growing up. And I hadn't watched it in like many years. And there was someone who was like livid that like I didn't know some of the characters. It's like, I ended up going back and watching the show sometime later. And I went back and rewatched my video to see. And it's like, dude, like, half the characters he's mad about were characters that were in the show for, like, an episode. So, like, I still can't name them. But then it also came with this special promo card as well. Son Goku, with Son Goku's story of a forming wish. So it's a, you know, leader back reversible card here. On the upside, I guess, to, like, pronouncing things wrong and getting names wrong is that my video does get more interaction as a result, right? Because that's more people leaving comments. Just remember that. Whenever you call out a YouTuber for saying something wrong, you're actually helping them. Then we have, we're already getting near the end of the video. We have this big boy, kinda ugly. Girlfriend really wanted this. I don't remember how much he paid. It was kind of expensive. It was like 40, 50 bucks. This is an ancient Vegeta figure. I mean, you can tell by the condition of the box and the way that they made him with that like weird material to make it kind of like shine. It's an interesting choice. I remember I actually found a copyright date on this guy. It took a minute to find, but it is an old one. It's like 2000 or something. Yeah, right there. The most recent copyright date is the year 2000. Like, this is an old boy. Obviously, she's going to keep it boxed. We have reason to believe it's been opened before. But, you know, keeping this thing boxed kind of just makes sense. So I picked up one of these. I mean, 16 bucks kind of made sense to me, right? You're getting... is that 3 packs or 4? Yeah, you're getting 4 packs, so $5 a piece with now modern prices. That would be normally 20 bucks for those packs, and you get a bonus card. Woo! This thing has been sitting around for a while, and this is by the Fairfield Company, everyone's favorite. So let's just splice it open and see what the bonus card is. I'm sure it's gonna be stunning. But I figured this would be a good excuse to throw some extra packs in the video. I don't buy that many packs at, like, cons because they usually end up being more expensive than you can get them literally anywhere else. Not all the time, but in a lot of cases. We have a promo Granados. Yay! But I thought it was kind of interesting, because we have a base set Scarlet and Violet in here, then you have Silver Tempest, Paldea Evolved, and base set. So this is like around the release of Scarlet and Violet, right? The most modern set being Paldea Evolved, the second set to release. That's why we also have a Silver Tempest, because this was near the tail end of Sword and Shield. I think this was the 4th to last set, if I recall correctly, because the last 3 sets, you had, I'm probably wrong, but I think it was 3 sets at the end that all had, because you had Brilliant Stars with the Trainer Gallery, and then you had like 2 with the Galarian Gallery, and I think this was right before Brilliant Stars. I believe this one doesn't have the Galarian, because you had Astral Radiance Galarian, you had Crown Zenith. Was there another? But we'll throw it at the back, it's the older one. Okay, I had to take a short break there to offload footage. This is going to be a long video. God knows when I'll end up getting it out. It'll probably be in like January, I'm guessing, is when you're watching this. Anyways, code card. Holiday season is always just rough for... Oh, wait, Paldea Evolved. This is Scarlet and Violet. Yeah, so we don't need to do that. Holiday season's always just rough for trying to do stuff, because, like, I have a lot more work to do, and, like, for my job. And then, of course, trying to do YouTube and holiday stuff with family and a Wigglytuff. So outside of this here, I'm just not going to stress about it a whole lot. When the video comes out is when it comes out. I don't want to rush it and end up with, like, a bad video as a result. We have the Kroger Mankey, Squawkabilly, Caspa Kid, the Torkoal, Scavillion, the Pig, Grimer, Dedenne, and a Hollow Hawlucha. Then we have our second base set, Scarlet and Violet. Even if I got something from it, I probably wouldn't care all that much, because if we just get a basic EX, those are just the worst EXs that they've done, because they were so washed out in this set. We have the Shuppet, Sprigatito, Crocodile, Flamingo, Fortress, Annihilate, Magnemite, and a Hollow Olive Branch. Don't forget, some people think that these companies might weigh their packs, so even buying it at a good deal might not be the best deal. But I'm not accusing them of it. I mean, in order to figure that out, you'd have to, like, buy a lot and do a bunch of math and see what your actual odds were versus what they should have been, and there's still a chance that you just got unlucky, man. We do 3 to the front, 1 out the back, and for our last one, we have the Morpeko, capturing Aroma, Wailord, Litten, Murkrow, Swablu, Rotom, Veneeri, Dewpider, and a Milotic. So, not a single pull. Maybe not worth the $16. So, our final item is kind of insane. My lady friend kind of bought it while I wasn't paying attention and had it wrapped up so I couldn't see what it was. She said that she was considering saving it to give it to me for Christmas. Spoiler, this video is filmed before Christmas. And she decided not to, and just handed it to me. Insane that she did this in the first place. I'm a massive Skyrim nerd, and so, massive box to go with it. Like, I can't even, like, fit this all in frame. Like, Jesus. This thing is super heavy. We get this kind of somewhat aligned again, probably not quite correct. I mean, this thing is just thick. Like, so this is, okay, I'd actually put that in sideways whenever I looked into it the other night. We'll kind of just adjust the camera again. This is the Skyrim adventure game. There is a lot to this. It's a pretty complicated tabletop game. Now, this box is huge, and digging through it on the set will not only take forever, but it'd be really hard to fit in here. So we're not doing that. If you're interested, I'm sure there's some other YouTubers who would love the extra view if you want to learn more about this. I don't even know how to play it. I kind of give like a brief overview, just kind of digging into it a little bit. So yeah, this is definitely something I will be learning how to play eventually. It's just really cool. If you're wondering, she originally thought, because she did a quick search online before she bought it, and thought she was getting a pretty okay deal on it. She ended up looking up more at home and learned that she actually overpaid a little bit. I don't know how much. I haven't looked into it. But she paid $160 for this tabletop game. Wild. I'll put it this way, I'm also a massive Pokemon fan, obviously. It's what this channel is about. If Skyrim had enough stuff for me to just do Elder Scrolls stuff, that's probably more of what this channel would be. Like, it is Elder Scrolls for me than it is Pokemon. Oh, I destroyed my little set back here doing that. I know when I set it down, the vibration alone caused the Grookey to fall. Not that that means much, he falls all the time. So that was basically the final item, but we still got one more Japanese pack. I saved this one because I just liked the artwork on it the most. Like, I like it a lot, so I figured I would save it. Again, God knows how old this set is. I know it's Scarlet and Violet, but like, how it lines up with ours, I have no idea. So I just like the artwork the most. We have, oh wait, yeah, one to the front. We have Rika, then Fanfi, the Gavantula, Wimpod, and we got a pull. We have the full art Tapu Koko EX. Very happy to have at least gotten one good pull out of those 5 Japanese packs. I mean, it's not like the craziest pull, but a legendary full art, like, I can't complain that much. I will say, I went through, like, organizing a lot of cards recently, because I kind of fell way behind. The Japanese ones, they just slide. They just slide so much better. They feel better in the hand. Whenever I was organizing cards, I'm going through, like, literally thousands. And I'm, like, trying to go through looking for things that need to get pulled out or whatever else. When I'm going through the English ones, it's a lot more on your hands. Whenever I would get to a section where it was like, oh, Japanese, I did some Japanese product, it was just infinitely better. Like, it was so much faster just to fly through them. Like, I want our cards printed like this. But, that's it for Yamacon. Again, there were some things that were picked up that I just don't think were worth showing. along with gifts for people, and I don't want to cheapen the gift, right? Like, hey, I got you this thing, but I also put it in a video, so I'm making money back on it. Not like I make much on this channel, but it still cheapens the gift. But anyways, it is now time for bonus card of the day. I put the cards I bought on the con in here. I shuffled them like I always do whenever I add new cards to this. So there's a chance we're going to get one of them, but it's not as likely. So, as always, pulling from the back, and I don't believe this is one of the sleeves from one of the ones I bought at the con. As always, we'll be playing Guess the Year. So let's first slide it out and take a look. There's no price. This is looking pretty modern. It doesn't have the kind of fadedness that like Wizards cards and some of the older ones looked like with their print. There's a line of whitening on the side, but it's not really that beat up, and you can kind of see it there. It kind of goes all the way across. It's very, very thin. I'm going to say this is actually pretty modern. I mean, it came in a modern sleeve. What is this, 151, I believe? When was 151? Was that last year? Was that 2023? I'm going to say 2023. We have 2024, even more modern, but it is a shiny Poniard, however you want to say it. I like this guy. Definitely, I want to get King Gambit as a shiny. I really like this entire line as shiny. So when I saw it, I had to pick it up. I mean, there are so many shiny cards that you can get that, like, hunting them all down would be insane. I know people have done it, but I'm at least going to pick up ones that I think are either really good shinies or just from Pokemon that I like. And, yeah, he's definitely one of them. So, bonus card of the day. So, if you managed to enjoy this video by some miracle, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, all of that fun stuff. I guess on the left side of the screen, I'm going to link you guys to the last year's Yamacon video, if you're interested. And as always, I'm going to have a playlist on the right side of the screen of all of my Pokemon videos if you feel like binging. So, thank you guys very much for watching, and hopefully, I will see all of you next time. Goodbye for now.